Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." What if most of your life isn't really yours? What if your reactions, fears, and patterns are inherited, passed down like a torch, but one that burns instead of lights the way? Emotional maturity isn't about age. It's about depth. It's about how deeply you've met the real you, the parts you're proud of, and the parts you try to bury. In today's video, we're diving into the 4 powerful signs of an emotionally mature adult, based on Carl Jung's revolutionary insights into the self. Stay until the end, because the final sign reveals the biggest shift between ego and freedom. And if you're ready to grow beyond surface-level advice into real psychological power, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's start this journey inward. Sign 1. Taking full responsibility for your inner world. Let's start with the foundational shift. An emotionally immature person says, "I'm angry because they disrespected me." A mature person says, "I'm angry because something inside me feels threatened, and I want to understand why." Jung believed that we unconsciously project what we have not yet owned. This is called projection, and it's one of the most common traps of emotional immaturity. Examples: you're intimidated by someone's confidence, so you label them arrogant. You envy someone's lifestyle, so you criticize their choices. You're afraid of vulnerability, so you mock others who open. But here's the truth. What bothers you in others is a mirror. It's pointing to something unhealed in you. So how do you grow from this? Catch your projections. When you have a strong emotional reaction, pause. Ask, "What's this showing me about me?" Take back your power. Your emotional responses are your responsibility. The moment you realize this, you stop blaming and start growing. Cultivate inner reflection. Journaling, meditation, or therapy can help you trace the roots of your emotional patterns. Carl Jung said, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves." True maturity is born when you stop outsourcing blame and start doing inner work. Sign 2. You integrate your shadow. Let's talk about Jung's most iconic idea, the shadow. The shadow is the you that you don't want to be. It's the side of you you've buried, your anger, your jealousy, your fear, your desires. It's every impulse you were told was bad or too much growing up. We're taught to suppress the shadow. But Jung believed that what you resist not only persists, it runs your life. When you ignore your shadow, it leaks out in toxic ways. Passive aggressiveness. Jealousy masked as judgment, impulsive decisions you regret later. But when you face your shadow, something magical happens. You become whole. You accept your humanity. You stop pretending. How to integrate your shadow. Name it. Write down the traits in others that trigger you. Then ask, "Do I ever act this way?" Own it without shame. You're not a bad person for having dark thoughts. You're human. Use it constructively. Anger can become assertiveness. Jealousy can inspire growth. Fear can fuel courage. Jung said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." When you own your shadow, you stop running from yourself and start leading from truth. Sign 3. You respond, not react. A child reacts. An adult responds. This is one of the clearest signs of emotional maturity. The difference? Reaction is impulsive. It's driven by emotion. It's survival mode. Response is mindful. It's a choice. It's wisdom in motion. Reacting looks like yelling when you're frustrated, shutting down when criticized, making decisions in anger. Responding looks like taking a breath, asking clarifying questions, choosing presence over ego. Jung believed that most people are not conscious. They're on autopilot. When someone cuts you off in traffic, when your partner pushes your buttons, or when life throws you a curveball, your power lies in the space between stimulus and response. That space is your freedom. How to strengthen it? Practice the pause. Before speaking or acting, take a conscious breath. 1 second of pause can save years of regret. Name your emotion. I'm feeling overwhelmed. This builds awareness and slows reactivity. Respond with curiosity, not control. Instead of, "Why did you do that?" try, "Help me understand what happened." When you respond instead of react, you stop giving away your power, and you begin to lead your life instead of surviving it. Sign 4. You no longer need to win. Ego wants to win. Soul wants to understand. In relationships, in arguments, in conversations, immature people want victory. Mature people want connection. Emotionally immature people need to be right. Get the last word. Control the narrative, but emotionally mature people know that. Winning an argument doesn't mean you're wise, letting go doesn't mean you're weak, not reacting doesn't mean you're defeated. It means you've risen above the need to prove. Jung described this as moving from ego to self, from fear to wholeness. Here's the truth. Some people won't understand you. Some people will misunderstand you on purpose. Some situations aren't meant to be won. They're meant to be released. Signs you've outgrown the need to win. You choose silence over screaming. You choose peace over pettiness. You choose growth over ego battles. This is emotional freedom. Let's recap. You're stepping into emotional maturity when you take responsibility for your inner world, face and integrate your shadow. Respond instead of react. Let go of the need to win. This isn't easy work. It's the hardest journey you'll ever take, the journey inward. But it's also the most rewarding. Because on the other side of that journey is something extraordinary. Peace, purpose, power, not over others, but over yourself. Carl Jung's life work was helping people become whole, not perfect. And the signs of emotional maturity aren't external achievements, they're internal revolutions. So here's what I want you to do. Comment below. Which of these signs are you currently working on in your life? Let's grow together. Like this video if you believe inner peace is more powerful than outer validation. Subscribe for more deep dives into psychology, self-awareness, and the art of becoming whole. And remember, you don't become emotionally mature overnight. You grow into it through reflection, honesty, and the courage to meet every part of yourself. Keep growing, keep evolving, and as Jung might say, make the unconscious conscious, and you'll finally reclaim your life.